Kenyans and citizens of the world, today is an extremely historic day. It's 11th of May 2026, and Kenya is hosting France for the Africa Forward Summit, which is technically the France-Africa Summit, which for the first time in the history of post-colonial Africa, it has been hosted outside of West Africa, and specifically outside of Francophone West Africa. Francophone is French-speaking West African countries. I already did a video a few weeks ago. I will share it in the description, the link in the description. And I discussed President Ruto's role in the new world order, specifically the repositioning of France in Africa after a majority of the Western African nations rejected France. This has been a very problematic issue with France in West Africa, especially because of its colonial history, the brutality that France meted out against the African people in West Africa, the extraction of minerals, specifically uranium in Niger, gold in Mali and Burkina Faso, and other rare earth minerals, including oil, exploration of oil in French-speaking African countries in West Africa. Now, after encountering headwinds in West Africa, France has gone shopping, and finally it has found a partner it deems fit to help it in its new recolonialization of Africa strategy. And that partner is President Ruto of the Republic of Kenya, who, as we all know, is an extremely immoral president, and everything we know he does from the position of personal gain. What we are sure of as Kenyans is that this France-Africa Summit is not going to benefit any one of us as Kenyans in the Republic, and this is only going to directly benefit President Ruto and his cronies and his families, whatever it is that they are discussing with President Macron and other leaders from France. What kind of key issues are we looking at here? There are three key and extremely important issues. And the first one is the history of France. If you go on the internet and you Google French atrocities, you will be shocked at how brutal the French were against our West African brothers and sisters. You know, there is no atrocity they have not committed against the people. There is no atrocity they have not committed against the people of West Africa. Whether it is rape, whether it is burning of whole villages, whether it is forceful eviction of people from their lands. And this is very scary because we are seeing what is happening around Kenya with the affordable housing. And I started asking myself last night when I saw President Ruto hugging President Macron of France in State House, is what if this is now the final level, and President Macron has come to evict us from our indigenous lands in our villages, and then they shove us into these affordable housing units being built around the country. Think about that. And many other atrocities that they have committed against the people. France has been documented to engineer coups against democratically elected leaders in West Africa's French-speaking countries, using mercenaries. There's something called the French Legion. I don't know if you've ever heard of the French Legion. It's basically a private army for the French government. They have the French army, yes, but then they have the French Legion, which is a private army for the French government, and it was specifically stationed in Western African countries to defend French interests. Call it a G4S for a country. And they will go and they will protect mining sites, they will protect rich agricultural lands in which French corporations were doing businesses. So France is not in the business of partnerships. France is not in the business of friendships. France is not in the business of helping. France is in the business of extraction of minerals from the people it calls partners in quotes. The second item of concern is where we are sitting now. France is looking for specific partnerships in Kenya. One of them is defense. Already we know that Kenya has signed a defense partnership with the French military. This was just a few weeks ago before the summit. We know they are very much interested in digital technology markets. They're already putting their foot inside that space, which Kenya is very rich with IT gurus, and they want a piece of that. They want agriculture, and that is why I'm talking about affordable housing. So the French are coming to evict us from our shambas or to ingize sijui kwa affordable housing. That is something else that you need to think about. And the most important one is they are interested in the Mombasa port. That one is very explicit. The French have said it, and they are trying to find ways to enter into the Mombasa port because they want to have access to where whatever it is they plunder from us here in Kenya and Eastern Africa in general has a right of way through our ports. That is the second critical item. The third critical item, as we have seen, for those who are not on social media, since Sunday, after President Macron landed, Sunday, 10th of May, they are very much keen on the arts and they're very keen on sports. Our beloved Chef Denis Ombachi from the balcony is going to host someone prominent from France very soon. He put out a teaser. We know that President Macron of France had dinner with Chef Ombachi and also our beloved Bien of Sauti Sol. The pictures are making rounds online. You will see some of them playing on my screen. President Macron, very early in the morning of 11th of May, he went out for a jog with our own Kipchoge Keino, record-breaking Kipchoge Keino. And we expect more and more public relations stunts from France to kind of dilute the anger or diffuse the negative stories that are coming from West Africa with regards to what they are coming to do here in Kenya and specifically East Africa. It's called a charm offensive. We are going to see more of it between May 11th and May 12th at the end of the France-Africa Summit when President Macron leaves. And yeah, that is Ukoloni Mamboleo, Neo-Colonialism 101. France is playing a very good game in trying to reinvent itself in Africa, but we all know that they are just plunderers, they are thieves of our mineral resources, and they are just here specifically to kind of take over our continent now from the East. They have already failed in the West. They've been chased away from the West. Na sasa hivi wamepata mkora mwenye ako willing kuuza mama yake na mke wake na watoto. So our President Ruto is willing to burn down the whole farm. Yani he's ready achome chai yote, achome kahawa, achome mahindi, aingize ngamia zitafune kila kitu, just for the sake of him being given a mirror, ajiangalie, and he is puzzled. It is pre-colonial history 101 that we are witnessing again with President Ruto. He's sold his soul a long time ago. The only thing he cares about is money in his pocket. The more he can steal from the people of the Republic of Kenya, the more he can steal from the Republic of Kenya, the better for him. If anything, President Ruto walks around with a title deed and he goes around showing foreign leaders, you know, like mimi niko na title ya Kenya. Like whatever it is you want, you just tell me, mimi I cut you a slice, you give me my cut, nieke kwa mfuko, you take a portion of the Republic of Kenya. Kama ni loans, IMF, World Bank, he walks there, shows them the title deed. Look, guys, I have the title deed of the Republic of Kenya. Hebu nipatieni ka 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion dollars. Let me put this in my pocket. And then, you know, you guys will come to claim it from Kenyans after 5, 10, 15 years. I don't even care. My children, their children, let them suffer. Let them drown in this debt. So that is the France-Africa Summit. Its significance is grave. Its significance, its impact is huge for us as a people, because already they are talking about deals that do not make sense. They're talking about the Nairobi commuter railway. And just a few years ago in 2019, President Uhuru Kenyatta had already done a deal with the French for the Nairobi commuter railway. And then now, again, we are doing the same deal. Auditor General pointed out just the other day, 7.5 billion shillings was used to pay French companies illegally for a cancelled contract ya kujenga barabara. I think it's the Maori-Roni Summit Highway that was cancelled, which was supposed to be built by a French consortium. And money, 7.5 billion, was regularly taken, paid to these French companies. I think it was a way to bribe France into coming into Kenya and show them that, look, we have more of that. If you want this money, you play ball with President Ruto, cut him big corruption checks, patieni pesa yake kwa mfuko, and then you guys can continue with your plunder of Africa. My viewers, as usual, please leave a comment. If there's anything I have left out, kindly put it in the comment section so that I can work on it as I plan for my next video. Finally, today's episode has been sponsored by Infinity Arts. Infinity Arts, you can contact them on 0708 054 060. He's a young artist. His name is Clement. Please support his art. Thank you very much for tuning in once again to the Mobili Mwagodi TV channel on YouTube. This is your host, your Jomba, Mobili Mwagodi. Asanteni sana for being here. And as we continue to fight for the Republic of Kenya, I want to wish you a blessed week ahead. Asanteni.